Call this meeting to order. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
He was.
Okay. Clerk of the board, please hold off on calling the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Present.
Freeholder Carter.
Present. I'm glad you got that one right today.
Freeholder Strada.
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Present.
Freeholder Hudak. Freeholder Jallo.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella. Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Here.
And Chairman Granados.
Here.
Chairman, you have 7 freeholders present.
Clerk of the board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the board, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. We'll approve the communication at the January 25th regular meeting. We'll now start with the resolution portion. Office of the Union County Clerk, Joanna Rajapi.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening.
Yes, I have one resolution tonight, and it is to enter into a hardware and software maintenance contract with IBM. This is an annual contract. It is for the imaging and web servers. We have 2 big IBM computers, one in Westfield and one in Elizabeth. And next year, I'm hoping to buy a new system, and the maintenance and software will be included in that price for 3 years. So this represents about a 3% increase from last year.
Are there any questions from the Freeholder board? Yes, Vice Chair Kowalski.
And does this cover your app that residents can access?
No, the app Freeholder is it's a download from the App Store.
Right.
So
okay.
it's
Separate thing. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you and Happy New Year.
Same to you. From the Office of Union County Prosecutors, Al Cernados. Hi, Al. Cernados. Go ahead.
Welcome, Al.
Thank you.
Brother.
Chairman,
Missed you.
members of the board.
So I guess you guys know each other. I don't know.
I
I'm trying to
have
figure it out now.
He stood there many years, bro.
I have
That was
returned.
the first time.
I was going to say, but didn't you watch that on TV or what?
Well, certainly. The Office of the Prosecutor has 2 resolutions on for the agenda. Both are professional service contracts. The first one is with Robert Santilli, who will serve as the civilian IT manager of the Union County Prosecutor's Office, dealing with all our computer needs, and including maintaining of the prosecutor's server as well. The second professional service contract is for, namely, transcription services, psychiatrists, and interpreters that the Union County Prosecutor uses on an annual basis.
Are there any questions from Fielder Strada?
Yes. First of all, good evening and welcome back.
Thank
Well,
you.
not that you have gone away anywhere, but we hadn't seen you here in numerous years. But on the first one here, was Robert Santilli doing this before, or this is a new contract?
Robert Santilli was a sergeant in our office who was who was maintaining the servers in our office. Instead of using an officer or a sergeant who would be at a higher priced salary,
Okay.
including benefits, we have now serviced it out to a civilian. which
So in
is
other words, he
Robert
used to
Santilli.
work for us at one time, and he's
Correct.
no longer an employee, so he's doing this as his...
Now he has his own business.
His own business, okay. No, because I recognized the name, but I never knew that he was from Middletown, New Jersey. I said, well, we're going out of town, county for this kind of services, but that's okay. Thank you.
Freeholder Carter?
Well, that then probably answers my question, or maybe it doesn't. Was this something that was put out to bid, or did we just, or use it from a list, qualified list or anything like that? And I was gonna ask that also, same thing for number 2.
No, there was no bid, as far as I know, with Robert Santilli.
Okay, what about number 2?
No, these are transcription services and interpreters that
Mhm.
are court authorized, and
Okay,
also.
so this one is court
and also-
authorized.
right.
So it is coming off a list of some sort that we're picking and choosing from.
Correct.
Okay, for qualifications. Okay.
Vice Chair Flossie?
And I add my welcomes to you.
Thank you,
And,
Freeholder.
Just want to mention, I would figure that Mr. Santilli, having worked for the county, has been through screening and background processing and all that, so it's nice to have someone who is well-trusted to handle this kind of work, I would imagine.
Yes, Freeholder. As a matter of fact, he has to go through another additional background check to get reemployed, even as a professional service contractor, as an independent contractor with our office.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeholder.
From the Office of the Board of Elections, Dennis Hobitz.
Good evening, Chairman, Freeholders. The Board of Elections has 5 resolutions on for tonight. The first one is to pre-qualify the companies that have put in RFPs for transporting the voting machines to and from all the polling places. The second one is for Royal Printing to print all our poll books and our voting authority slips and any other things we need to run the election, which is actually a decrease of $10,000 over last year. Number 2 and 3 are the 2 companies that we would be using to transport the voting machines to and from all the polling places. And number 5 is for Dominion, which is the company that we have our voting machines from. This is for the software and for maintenance and for parts. And you actually see a decrease of $5,000 in that one also. Originally, I was asking for an increase, but we were lucky to train 2 of our employees to run the mail-in ballots ourselves. So when they got promoted to run them now themselves, we've actually done a decrease to Dominion.
That's great to hear. Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Freeholder Jallo?
Yes, 2 questions. With regard to 3 and 4, why do we have 2 companies doing the same thing, and how long have we been in that situation?
We've been in that situation for many years. We used to have 1 company many years ago, and we had problems with the company, and this way we have 2. Also, it's very hard to get that many machines out in a short period of time, but more important, getting them back. We have to have them back by the Friday. I mean, we have a week to get them out, but you have to have everything back into the Board of Elections warehouse by Friday. So it really only gives us 3 days with loading and unloading and
So there's not one company with the capacity or that's big enough to handle it?
nobody that has put an RFP in for it, no. So we've always broken it up.
Any other questions from Freeholder Board? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Department of Administrative Services, Mike Yeska.
Good evening, members of the board. The department has 2 resolutions for your consideration. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Freeholder Jallo?
Can you talk about number 2?
Number 2, we have 2 cooperatives that purchasing puts out. One is when we ask other municipalities to bond with us, like rock salt. So we put a large number together so that we get a better price. So we all bond together. What this one is a vehicle that the state allows that when we bid anything, say, plumbing or an electrician, we put a clause in it that the vendor has to agree to provide that same service for any government that is within Union County at the same price and the same terms. I have the list here of all the fire departments and everything that belongs to it. It's a long list. It's all the municipalities. Whenever we do anything like this, we send them an email saying that this contract is now available. And this is the list of all the contracts that we send it. As I said, it's a lot of the service contracts, but every once in a while, if we think that there's a vehicle that other people can use, we'll throw a vehicle on there too.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Director. From Department of Engineering, Public Works, and Facilities Management, Director Graziano.
Good evening, Chairman, Freeholders. I have 9 resolutions on tonight for your consideration, and I'll try and answer any questions you have.
Any questions from Freeholder Board? No? Freeholder Jalo?
3, 4, 5, and 6 all seem to be design, service, construction, administration, and inspection. But 3 seems to be different. Is like it's a general one. Is that the case? Or?
Yeah, yes, it is actually. So, so what we did every year, the state goes out and inspects all of our bridges and culverts, and they come back with a list of what needs to be done on all of them. So we decided this year to go out and design all of them at one shot, and then go out to bid for one contractor to fix all of them when we get it back. Probably won't end up doing the work until 2020 on these bridges, on all of them. We're expecting to spend probably about a little more than $1 million, $1.5 million possibly, to repair all these bridges, and it's existing capital that we have currently from 2017 that we're doing this on.
So
The other
number 3
bridges
is
are
for-
specific ones.
So number 3 is for future potentially, and then 4, 5, and 6 are the specific ones we're doing now. Is that it?
Yes, those are existing bridges that need to be done. Those are structurally deficient bridges, and those are ones in Linden, ones in Summit, and the other one I believe is in Springfield.
Okay.
And those are all going to be also grant funded on the construction side of it through the local bridge and future needs program. They're about $750,000 to $800,000 each bridge, and we can't apply for that until 2020, but we do anticipate receiving that funding, which we have in the past for all those bridges.
So we're saving money doing it this way because it looks like 3, or is 3 going to come back and ask for more money as the projects come?
No, three we should save money, but that's all capital. That's all county funds.
Right.
The other bridges are going to be grant funded.
I see.
Through those.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Maybe I misunderstood, but I thought that deficient bridges would come through the state and not
They are.
necessarily the county.
Excuse-
The actual money to fix the.
Yes, they are. So that's the $750,000 that we're going for each of those 3 bridges on 4, 5, and 6 in my agenda. 4, 5, and 6, the one bridge, the structure deficient bridge in Linden, the one in Summit, and then the other one is in Kenilworth. So those 3 are going to be paid for by the local bridge and future needs program
Right,
from the
that's
state.
The state, okay.
Right.
Now, you're saying that number 3
Number
are the deficient bridges?
No, those are the ones that we have to.
Those are the ones that
Yes.
we're responsible for?
Yes.
Okay, no, I was going to say, well, make sure, because I know that's, the deficient bridges are covered by the state.
100%. Yeah, we have to pay for design on them. because
Right,
the
of
state
course.
pays for it.
Any other questions from the Freeholder Board?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Director.
Thank you, Chairman.
Department of Finance, Director B.B. Taylor.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. The Department of Finance has 1 resolution for your consideration this evening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Seeing none, thank you very much, Director. Department of Human Services, Director Debbie Ann Anderson.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. The Department of Human Services have 4 resolutions for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Thank you very much, Director.
Thank you.
Department of Parks and Recreation, Director Ron Zuber.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Department of Parks and Recreation has 11 items on tonight's agenda, and I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Seeing none, thank you very much, Director.
Thank you.
Department of Public Safety, Director Moran?
Good evening, Chairman, members of the Board. Department of Public Safety has 4 resolutions on for your consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? Seeing none, thank you very much, Director.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Freeholder Estrada?
Thank you. What's the rush, brother? What's the rush? We're not going to break any records today. We got a lot of questions.
Go for it.
In reference to the coupling for the UASI Neptune system, now you're saying here, I thought we have already purchased one of these.
This is actually the 3rd year of this coupling project. What this will do will make shorter lengths of hose, because this hose is up to 12 inches wide. It makes it difficult to deploy this system under certain conditions. It allows this to be deployed with shorter hoses, just enabling the firemen a little ease in deploying the system.
If I'm not mistaken, the Neptune system is the one that requires pumping of tremendous amount of gallons of water from a source, either a river or I guess the shore or somewhere, not necessarily through a hose from a hydrant, is it?
It could be fed through multiple hydrants, or a body of water like a lake or the bay or a large river.
Now, let me ask you, have we used this system this 2017?
In 2017, no.
16, I know we had the big fire down in South Jersey that...
It was deployed during Sandy when the tunnels flooded, and the Berry Biscuit fire in Elizabeth, and also down in Seaside Park.
So in other words, 2016, we used it. 2017, we did not use it at all, thank God. We had no need for it. Do we still have exercises of the different municipalities that hold the equipment to ensure that we're up to date and
We did.
utilizing them?
In the fall, we had a large-scale exercise in Newark, drafting water from the bay. It was a regional exercise with fire departments not only from New Jersey but from New York City. And in New York City, fireboats participated in that.
Okay. Would you please ensure that we are maintained on the schedule? Let us know when that happens. So, it's a sight to see, and I think my colleagues would enjoy seeing the capacity that we have in this county.
I certainly will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Freeholder Carter?
Yes, and number 4, can you just kind of go into that a little bit? What areas are they that they would, okay, let me make sure I get this right. So it's a request for proposal to treat post-traumatic stress disorder first responders where? Around the county?
In the UASI region,
Okay,
is a
UASI.
UASI funded, so
Okay.
we're looking for each medical facility, each hospital in the UASI area to send 2 representatives for this training. It's 9 days, it's very comprehensive, and it's to treat first responders for post-traumatic stress.
Okay.
But there
Anyone
will be healthcare workers from our area that will be trained.
Trained for that.
Anyone else? Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Office of County Council, County Council Barry?
That's
Thank you,
what I was
Mr.
like, okay, wait a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Office of the County Council has 9 items on tonight's agenda, and I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board?
This way you have to go.
Good. No questions? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Office County Manager Fiala?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Office of the County Manager has 1 resolution on for your consideration, and I'll attempt to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the Freeholder Board? No questions? Thank you very much. At this time, I'll ask if any freeholder have any additional resolutions to add to the regular meeting agenda and/or any friendly amendments. Vice Chair Kowalski?
Yes, I'm just not sure what the difference is between 2 and 3. Maybe this is a duplication on the Women of Excellence.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll wait for the clerk to be free.
Jim? This question presented. Number 2 and 3. Is that a duplication?
Number
Correct?
2 and
Well,
3?
It is duplication, but yeah.
For freeholder-sponsored
Mhm.
resolutions?
Women of Excellence and...
Yes,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's how we start off the brand new meeting.
Woo-hoo! Well, sorry, but I would like to keep number 3, I think it is, because that's Freeholder Carter and the entire board. I assume the entire board wants to
Yes.
jump in on this, so, okay, thank you.
No problem. Jim, get a note of that?
Yes. We're crossing out number 2.
Freeholder
Can we
Carter?
just make sure that it says the 2018 Women of Excellence, so
Yes.
that it's just not 10 women?
Right. Yeah.
So I'll use the language in number 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other freeholder?
Mr. Chairman, I also have a mandatory resolution I'd like to add.
Freeholder. Garrettson? Jimmy, anyone else? Okay. I'll have a number of resolutions to add, reference to Community Gardens Union County Plant a Seed Grant Program, sponsorship resolutions relative to Black History Month, the use of competitive contracting for administrative of a youth mentoring program, the reorganization of the Union County Insurance Fund Commission, position controls, and it may have some extra laudatories. Anyone else? Good, good. So, seeing no other business, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Adjourn.
Second.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.